Hi there, it's Diane Evans here with StampinWithDiane.com, and I'm a Canadian independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you join me in my studio or if you join me on my YouTube channel, welcome. And if you've never subscribed before, make sure that you do subscribe down below and also hit the bell so you'll get notified every time that I upload a new video. So today what I want to do is show you a really cool technique using this bundle. This bundle does come, its friends are like seashells. So this bundle comes with stamps and a die to cut them out. But also we're going to be using this beautiful embossing folder and these opalized pearls. Now you noticed here that they do have some pearlized paper. Today what I'm going to show you in this video is how to make your own colored pearlized paper. So let's get started. Now with this particular suite, there is a way of getting everything lined up. I always say cut first, stamp next, and then emboss. And I'll show you how I do that today. So let's just leave that there for now. And I am using probably my favorite colors of all colors. And I am using Smoky Slate. And this card base is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Just to let you know, there will be a link below. And it'll link you to my blog where the measurements will be on my blog. So you don't have to worry about downloading or paying attention, starting the video on there. So I've scored it at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to go in and fold it. And I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure that I've got a really good crease on there. I also have another layer that's 4 by 5 1/4. And I like to layer color on color, the same color on color, and you'll see how effective that is really in this card. Then I have a 1/4 piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. You can use any color that you want, but I'm a pink and gray person, so much like that. Now I've also gone ahead and I've cut out a couple of these labels, and this in the Blushing Bride, and this is from the Ornate Frames, and I've used this particular one, and that's from the annual catalog. So now what I want to do is I want to show you how I go about and make my own pearlized paper. In the mini catalog, there's also these blending brushes. And these brushes are not sponge, but they're actual brushes, very, very fine brushes. And it's really neat how they blend. They wash out very nice. And you don't have to worry about having one brush for every single color, because what happens is you can group them. You can have like browns, and you could have blues, and you could have pinks and that sort of stuff. All right, so on this particular one, what I'm going to do is I am using this White Frost shimmer paint. And there's a ball in there, so all you have to do is make sure that you've shook it up quite a bit. And then we're just going to put this into some sort of a tray that we can actually keep that in and then use it as part of our palette so that we can do this. So now on here, I'm just going to go in here, pick up a bit of paint, and then I'm just going to go in and brush this into a circle. And I start off and then just go move up. Now see how that's starting to go, and it's going to be our own shimmer paint, and it's going to be Blushing Bride. So like I said, I just start off and then just go up the paper. I'm going to do the same again and just go brush up. Now this does tend to show fingerprints on it, but I know that I'm going to have a part that I'm going to be okay because I'm going to die cut this. But we're going to go in and make sure that we've got this good and covered. And I do have swirls on it, but we are going to be okay with these swirls, and you'll see why I say that. Now I'm also going to be doing something with the label, so I'm going to make sure that I go in and color this label as well. We're going to be stamping on there, so we want to make sure it's good and dry. So this is something that we just want to make sure that we've got dry. Now this, I don't want to show my fingerprints on it. Okay, now I would normally go and wash this immediately just because it's a shimmer paint, and the shimmer paint does tend to stick to more things than, and it's hard to get out. I also have marked this. This is just specifically just for my shimmer paint. All right, so we've got that done. We're ready to go there. I'm just going to let that dry just a tad. So on this piece of smoky slate onto the card base, what I want to do is I want to pop that up. So I'm just going to go in with my dimensionals, and we're going to put some in the middle there too, because we want it to keep popped up. And then I'm just going to come in with your take your pick tool, and we'll just take these off. I have real issues getting these off if I don't use my take your pick tool. So, most versatile tool in our whole annual catalog. All right, so we have that. And now what I want to do is I want to pop that off my card. Now on another one that I had originally done, I had put on that Blushing Bride ribbon that goes along with this suite. But I found, or that doesn't go along with this suite, but can be mixed with this suite, I found it was lost in this whole card, because this die and the stamps and the embossing folder are the feature of this whole particular card. Okay, so like I said before, what we're going to do is we want to cut, then stamp, and then emboss. So I'm going to bring in this die cut, and now we're just going to, I'm going to bring in my big cut and emboss, and I know it kind of takes up a lot of the screen, but it's so important that you see that these are the steps that you use with this. So I'm just going in, and I'm going to, now that this is dry, the fingerprints won't show up on it. So I'm just going to go in, and like I said, we're going to cut. Just line that up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this out. Now I can pop all these things out of here. It came out pretty good. So let me just put this off to the side. Get rid of our scraps here. Now, because we're using a photopolymer stamp set, I do want to go in with my paper piercing mat. I found, and I will show you on another sample, that without using the paper piercing mat, sometimes you don't get the full coverage when you go to do your stamping. So there wasn't that much to be taken out of here. All right, so I'm going to stamp these with just Blushing Bride. And like I say, you'll see what kind of a difference this really makes. Okay, so I have all my different shells that are on there, and I've taken them off and put them on blocks. So we just want to stamp there. Didn't line that one up very good. And then I'm just going to go in and line this one. It's better. And we have this bigger one. And just line that one up. This does take, because I've done the shimmer paint on there, it does take a little bit longer to dry. Now we'll put this big seashell. Now the other beauty of this particular die cut and these shells and that sort of stuff, at this point right now, if I wanted just shells, I could go and cut off all this seaweed that's there, and then I would have images that are just shells. So there, we've just gone and we've stamped. Oh, I have one more shell that I need to do. Let's see, how does it go in there? I think it's like that. Okay, just close that up. There's that. And see how now you have, just by me turning it to the side, you can see it's very subtle. It does have, like I say, it's a Blushing Bride. It does take a tad little bit to let it dry. So why don't I, while I'm letting that dry, the ink dry, I'm going to come in, and this stamp set has some of the most beautiful stamp sayings on it. Like, I like this, friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way. But I'm doing this happy birthday to my beautiful friend. And like I say, I've done that with the shimmer paint. Now I'm going to come in with basic gray. And I'm going to stamp that birthday stamp on there. Now this is going to be a little bit more difficult just because the camera's in the way. Just hoping I'm going to get this good and straight. If not, I do have another piece that I've already done. There we go. Now if I wanted, I could have had that done in a black, but I still wanted it to be quite subtle just because of the look of this particular card. So we have this. Now this is where I said we have cut, we've stamped, and now we're going to emboss. Now check out how easy this is to line this up. We could do it this way, but the easiest way that I find to line this whole embossing folder is to take the seaweed, and it's the seaweed that's going to help you line this up. So it's just line it up at the top, line it up along the side, just like that. And now we're going to bring in our big cut and emboss machine. Remember that it is a 3D embossing folder, so you do need to have your special plate in order to do that. And let's just run that through. So, like I said, we've cut, we've stamped, and now we have embossed. And just check that out. Is that not absolutely gorgeous? And by stamping, what you've done is you've drawn more attention to it. You've highlighted it. I guess what you could do is you could emboss, and then you could do some sponging on there. But I just find that that's the route to go. Now I've got something on here. I'm just going to come in with my eraser and just take that off. All right, so now this part is just going on here. Now you can see how quickly this card is coming together. I'm going to bring in my dimensionals, and I'm definitely going to put dimensionals on the shells themselves. Because if anything's going to pop up, we want the shells to pop off of the paper. I'm going to kind of let the rest, like the seaweed, I guess it is, or sea plants, I'm going to let them kind of be just loose on there. So let's go and take these off. I say, once if you've got all three of the tools, this makes this card so easy and very duplicatable. So I'm just going to put that up there. See how the shells pop off? Now I'm just going to put this up here, but see, it kind of gets lost in that. So I'm coming in with my label that I cut from the ornate frames, and I'm just going to cut that in half, and all we're going to do is layer this on so that we've got a bit of the shaded spruce on the back. So I'm just cutting that down the middle, go on to the back and put my seal on there. And then I'm just going to layer this die on there and layer it on this side as well. And see that, just like I say, it's just giving us a bit of an extra so that it pops off of there. And we'll go in again, and this part doesn't matter. I didn't cut it very straight, but this part is okay because it is on the back of the label itself. If I wanted to get it straight, I could have taken it and put it into my trimmer, but I didn't think it was necessary. Now, I've done this shimmer paint in many different colors. I've done it in blue. I've done it in the seafoam, and I've made a really beautiful framed art piece as well. So I'm just going in, and these are all my embellishments from the J2J Mini. And I'm just now going to put in some of these opal dots, or opal rounds, opal rounds. Try saying that. And we're just going to go ahead and put those onto the card. It's not going to show that much, but it does. Let's see, I'll put one up here, I think. One here, one here, one here. And then I'm going to also, whoops, I want to take it off of this because it's a loose piece. And we want to keep things in a triangle sort of thing, so we can put that there. I think I'm going to put it onto the gray. So there's that card. Very, very simple card that allows you to just show off the beautiful stamp set and the dies and the embossing folder. So if you like that, give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put those onto the YouTube comments, because I will go in and answer those. Also, if you like it, like I say, give me the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, if you do live in Canada and you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I do have a host code and a very generous reward program. You can find that reward program up on the top part of my blog. But also, if you use the host code, I also give away tutorials, and I am involved in a few tutorials. And one of the tutorials, and for every order that's put in online during the month, I'll send you a tutorial as well. So I hope you like that, and I hope you enjoy using the stamp set. Like I say, it's beautiful. There's so many different things that you can do with it. So bye for now.